Every time your government says something to you, every time it provides yet another stupid version of reality, it steels itself. It emboldens its ability to prevaricate and to be duplicitous. The government has said nothing to you. It has said repeatedly, well, we don't know about these drones. They're man-made, but they're not alien, but they're not foreign, but they're not enemy, but we don't know what they are. We don't know. Could be the sky, could be, does this sound familiar? Could be Venus, could be swamp gas, it could be, who knows, stars. Nothing to see here. And they keep dragging out these professional liars like Mayorkas and Kirby who absolutely get off on terrifying you. Their fetish, their sexual picadillos is freaking you out. That is exactly what they're doing. That is exactly the name of what's going on. It never ceases to amaze. It never ceases to hit me as being obvious. Their duty, their goal, their love, their sense of entitlement and joy is to freak you out and to teach you to just give in. It's called learned helplessness. You've seen it in animals that have been shocked repeatedly. You've seen it in women who have suffered in the horrors of the abused wife complex, to suppress, compress, distress, to completely destroy your ability to fight back. What's going on? We're not going to answer you. We're afraid. So what? Sit back, shut up, sit down, stand down. We're in charge. We went through this with COVID. COVID had nothing to do with COVID. It was a sense of habituating and controlling the world and what they learned. And every time something new happens, every time there's the recalibration of an old theme, I keep saying, do you not see what's happening? I mean, do you not see what's happening? Since the War of the Worlds, forget Project Bluebeam. Go back to the idea of using everything and anything in terms of false flags or any type of duplicity. It's important and critical to freak the American population out so that they don't know anything. To freak them out. How do I say this? How do I make you aware of this? How do I put this into kind of a more of a palpable understanding? Because when I tell people this, they think this guy's crazy. This guy's nuts. It has the issue is never about the issue. BLM in that month, those months, that summer of horror, had nothing to do with George Floyd or Black Lives Matter. It was about how can we institute immediately domestic terrorists, brown shirts, stormtroopers. How can we do this? How can we then also use our subservient media to reconstruct the theme so that people say, well, this is just a rational and a normal reaction to what appears to be distress. Distress and upset rationally caused by a racist society. It had nothing to do with George Floyd. George Floyd was a con. And let me also tell you something, believe it or not, while we're on the subject, while I'm on the subject, there was another George Floyd standing by. Now, we don't know his name yet. We don't know his name. We don't know where it is. But believe me, there's going to be some police officer somewhere, just a matter of, even though the police, God bless our great men and women in blue and black who stop and arrest millions of people a day all over the country. Still, the next one that seems a little bit questionable. They already have their shock troops ready to go. They have Ben Crump standing by. They have BLM standing by. They have Operation George Floyd 2 ready to go, along with Antifa and others. Remember this. There are subterranean, subsidiary terror groups, domestic terror groups, at the behest of groups controlled by a shadow government. You would call them deep state. And what used to be, and the good news is, I think these capitulating, spineless, implicit media types are going elsewhere. They are something that are always part and parcel with projecting and continuing the fraud. And we're seeing it now with drones. They're not telling you anything. They are still being given marching orders by the Biden administration, ordering them to obfuscate, to destroy, and to do everything in their power to freak America out. It has nothing to do with anything other than to bring you to your knees, to cause pitchforks and torches, to have you run it, to cower, to be upset, to be unsure. They hate for you to ever feel calm. The drones are so important, and everybody knows it. And all they had to do was, they could have lied very nicely. They could have said, look, we're doing this to make sure in the event of an actual nuclear threat, we're doing the right thing. But that's not what they do. No. They love to lie. They want to condition you to being lied to.